Hi again, everybody. See, now I'm going to be really awkward. So now we're going to do my staff interview. And instead of having somebody else call and do it, I decided to have my husband, Noah, do my interview. So we are in the same house, but we are separated because we were going to try and
Social
record
distancing.
social distancing. And we were going to try to record together and then realized how loud our children would be in the background. So expect one or both of them to probably poke up at any time during this entire thing. But this is Noah. And I am Taylor, obviously. So anyways, go ahead. I'm just
Hey,
so...
Taylor.
Hi.
Hey, let's start off with a question. What is your position with the Lincoln, and what do you actually do?
I am the outreach manager for the Lincoln Theater Center Foundation. So my job is fundraising, grant writing, event planning, everything under that, and memberships. So if you get a membership at the Lincoln, I'm the one that's going to be calling you to renew or working with you if you have any issues with that. I get to plan all of the fundraising events, so Brewfest each year and our trivia night, as well as our smaller annual events, so Rocky Horror and Dude Stock and things like that. And then I get to do all of the community work, so talking to the service groups and being part of the chamber and getting to be out in the community. So I get the fun job, I think.
So it sounds like you recruit friends and raise funds to support the efforts of Lincoln.
Sure do.
Okay, and what do your funds go to? What do they do?
They go to our programming mostly. So all of the different people that we bring into the theater and are able to get from out of state or nationally or internationally, your funding is supporting that, as well as the restoration and preservation of the Lincoln. So we're almost at 100 years old, so there's a lot to do to make sure that it stays up to date. And so all of the help and support from the community goes to our great programming and our historic preservation.
Awesome. So how long have you been involved, both in your current position and in general, with the Lincoln Theater?
I started my position at the Lincoln 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. I have a background in nonprofits and wasn't necessarily looking for a new position.
Mhm.
I was at home with my new baby and our other baby at the time, and then
Your loving husband.
my darling husband,
Mm-hmm.
and found a job posting from the Lincoln. And I don't have a lot of experience with the Lincoln from before I worked there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go much. I went to a couple of shows.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Rocky Horror when I had just graduated high school. I remember going to see the live production of Rocky Horror.
A classic.
Oh, he's coming for you. And but other than that, I hadn't really been involved. But I am a theater person, and so the idea of working for a theater and getting to be involved with a historic theater, especially. Hi, Nikolai. Was a chance I couldn't miss. So I've been involved the last 2 years, really.
That's great. Great. So what's your favorite thing about working at the Lincoln?
Ooh, well, I really like the people I work with. It makes this time really difficult. We work really well together, and so not being around all of them all the time has been a really interesting thing. And then probably my most favorite thing are those special events that I get to plan. Now I've done at least 2 of each of the events that I've planned, almost 3. And so getting to see the people that come back for specific events every year is really fun. Recognizing people and seeing them, and then dressing up. I love having a reason to get dressed up, as you know. And so I think my position is so much fun because where else do you get to dress up for your job and just be ridiculous? I love being on stage in front of people. So getting to dress up and welcome crowds at all of our special events is probably one of my favorite things.
So that being said, what changed to the Lincoln, like maybe structure or maybe an update to the theater or the preservation, was most impacted you in your time there?
Well, when I started, we were just working on wrapping up our sound and hearing campaign. and it had been going for a really long time. So one of my first weeks at the theater is when we first installed our brand new sound system.
Mhm.
And so I think that was the biggest thing for me to be a part of, was getting to see how those funds were finally coming together, and we were in those final stages. So getting to watch that brand new sound system get put in to the building and how it changed and how people reacted. And then most recently, the last part of that sound and hearing campaign was installing our hearing loop. And so getting to see that finally happen was really exciting, and see how it's really impacted that part of our community that's finally able to come back to films and watch shows and not have a horrible time and hear everything that's happening. It's been really special to be a part of.
And when you say that part of the community, you mean what does the hearing loop do? Who does that help?
That's for like the hearing impaired part of our community. So people that have hearing aids or cochlear implants, they can now come in, and there is a section of our theater that has this copper wire basically that goes around. And if they sit inside of that section, it will feed the sound directly to their implant or their hearing aid, so that they're able to hear the sound directly transmitted, so that they don't have the outside noise around them. It's not too loud, it's not too quiet. They can enjoy the show or the film.
Sounds like an upgrade over a Zoom conference call.
It is way better than a Zoom conference call.
Okay. What is your favorite show, event, or memory in your time there at the Lincoln?
Oh gosh, I love live events just because it's so much fun. The audience is so exciting to watch, and I love greeting everybody when they come in. Um, Probably my tops would be Dude Stalker, Rocky Horror, just because those crowds are there to have such a good time.
Mhm.
And it's so much fun, even if we are taking a little longer to get the film started or things are just going a little behind. They're always so happy and so energized and ready to be there. Um, probably my most recent greatest memory would be our New Year's Eve show, though, with the Blind Boys of Alabama, uh, because it was such a great show just in general, but listening to the entire crowd just get up and cheer and sing was probably one of the greatest ones I've gotten to witness so far.
So, and that with that, what is your dream show, event, or production you could see on stage if you could put anybody out
Oh
there?
my gosh. Well, I keep.
And you can't say Hamilton, original cast.
Well, we might get the film of that maybe, so that
Oh,
would be
okay.
cause enough for me next year.
Okay. Okay.
I think I keep trying to convince Roger that we need Celtic Thunder,
Sure.
because I love them. And then my ultimate dream would be Peter Frampton. But we've had like Sonny Landreth who played with Peter Frampton, so I take that as my like 1 degree separation, kind of like Kevin Bacon, but for Peter Frampton.
I see. Okay. That works. So if you could spend the day with any one famous person, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh man, we just talked about this and I already forgot who it was. Do you remember who I said?
No, I don't
I
remember
did.
who you said,
You're gonna say Jason Momoa.
but I know who you should say.
You.
Prince.
Obvious choice.
Totes.
Thanks, babe.
You're welcome.
Wow, I would 100% spend the day with Prince.
Right?
Yes.
I know.
Oh, thank you.
I don't remember what you said first. It was probably something like
It was
Momoa.
unnecessary was what it was, because Prince is the obvious choice. Yes, Prince. I would spend the day with Prince. I think he is amazing.
What was your favorite film? All-time favorite film?
So now that I'm thinking about it, Princess Bride is on the list.
Of course.
I feel like I think of my comfort films, if that makes sense. So like when you're sick at home from school, what show
like
does
Chocolat?
Yes, but Princess Bride, and then
Toy Story?
Oh my gosh, you're not even being funny right now. Don't make the world hate me. Don't like Toy Story. The Sergeant Pepper film with Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees. My mom used to play that for us when we were sick at home, and I thought for a very long time that Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees were the Beatles. And so like the first time I actually heard a Beatles album, I was confused why it wasn't Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees singing
Sure.
those songs. So probably that. It's one of my my most cherished films, at least. I could watch over and over.
So Sergeant Pepper, Princess Bride.
Yeah.
That's would be like your top
I think so,
two
yeah.
out of your top three.
Yeah, if out of things that I could probably recite every part or tell you exactly what's coming next, those are going to be my tops. I'm
Cool.
a
nerd. I guess one last question here for you. Have you ever met Eldon the Ghost?
What? I feel like I have not had a lot of Eldon experiences, which I feel kind of lucky for. He's very nice, I've heard, and usually it's just kind of a presence. He doesn't usually mess with people necessarily. I think the closest I've been is just before all of this happened with the shutdown. I gave a tour of the theater, and we were talking about Eldon and how he is really nice, how he generally interacts more with women. He usually leaves men alone, and he likes to either, put a hand on a shoulder or brush the hair away from a lady. Uh, and how he's just this really kind of calm guy. And as we were talking, we're in the main office, and the spot where we hold all of our posters, just storage up above a shelf, one of the posters fell down, and it was a weirdly large, huge poster, which is not one that we usually get, and it fell on the floor and unfurled, and it was for that new horror movie, The Turning. Like Finn Wolfhard's in it, and it's about creepy children. I don't know. And just this like terrifying poster just unfurled on the floor, and it was kind of creepy. But I mean, nothing other than that. I don't know if it was Eldon just saying, "Haha, I'm here," but you know.
So Phantom of the Opera, you've seen this.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I have.
So phantoms haunt every theater. So what phantom haunts your theater? So if Eldon was a phantom, would he be like Phantom of the Uncomfortable Uncle? Does he like to touch girls and scare you?
Maybe.
Hmm.
I guess. Yeah, Phantom of Drunk Uncle, just constantly coming through and moving your hair and I don't know.
Okay, and why is the Lincoln Theater so important to the Skagit County? What's the biggest impact, or why is it important to our community?
Ooh, you're adding questions and I
I am.
love it.
I know.
Nonprofit husband. I mean, I think that it really is just an anchor for downtown Mount Vernon. I think that we are so incredibly lucky that Skagit County has something as historically significant as the Lincoln. It's almost 100 years old, 1926. It's incredible that it's been around as long as it has, that so much of it is still intact. A lot of theaters like ours have been damaged over the years with leaky roofs or floods or things like that, and the Lincoln is in relatively pristine condition. It's been so well cared for and so well loved. I mean, including our Wurlitzer. We're one of the only theaters that still has its working Wurlitzer in its original location. So I think that it's important just because it really cements the history of our area, and it's such a cornerstone and an important piece of our area. You can't necessarily get programming like we do anywhere else. You get films, you get live performances, you get national, international stars. I mean, it's a way for the community to come together in such a beautiful location, an area, that I think that's why it's important and why we need to continue to preserve it for the generations to come. I mean, people's grandma's grandma met grandpa there, like, I don't know. It goes on and on. It's a piece of everybody in Skagit County. So was that a weird answer?
No, it's a great answer. It's definitely a cultural melting pot of the arts and the community in Skagit County. So it's very important. It's around. It plays an important role.
Yeah.
And you're an important piece of that.
Oh, babe, that's so sweet.
Okay.
Is that it, Mr. Bannister?
I guess that's it. That's all the questions you have.
Thank you so much for being my interviewer today.
Anytime.
I appreciate
I'm really busy these days, so there's a lot of things going on.
I know,
so
yeah.
I just fit you in. So
thank you so much.
now I'm off to something else.
Wonderful.
Yeah. My people will contact your people.
Okay, bye.
Right.